It will always hurt more when someone can't or isn't giving us what we aren't giving to ourselves. Let's take a deep dive into this. Real quick, if you're new here, my name is Sarah Whaling and I'm a certified life and relationship coach. In my one on ones, I use my professional knowledge and personal experience to help my clients work through the topics that I discuss in my videos, such as boundaries, healing insecure attachment styles, and healing from narcissistic abuse, to name a few, all with incorporating the subconscious and unconscious mind, which is how we truly change the brain and heal. And I walk my clients through exactly how to do this. I want to start off with an illustration from a book called The Mastery of Love by Don Miguel Ruiz, and I'm going to add to it. This is basically a book about self love. In part of the book, he uses food as a metaphor for love. He talks about a magical kitchen that someone has at their home. In this kitchen, they can make anything that they want. They have all the ingredients for the perfect pizza anytime that they're hungry. You've probably guessed it by now that the person with the magical kitchen is a person with self love who knows how and is able to meet their own needs. Let's say that someone knocks on their door. This person has brought over pizza, except this pizza comes with a catch. The person holding the pizza is not the healthiest of people. Let's say that they aren't too nice to, and maybe they break the boundaries of the person who has the magical kitchen. Well, the person with the magical kitchen has no problem just saying no thank you when this unhealthy person offers them the pizza. They have what they need, and they aren't going to put up with everything that comes along with the pizza offer. Now, in contrast to the person with the magical kitchen, let's say that there's another person who doesn't have too many ingredients and is super hungry. The same unhealthy person comes knocking on their door. They might know that this person at the door is unhealthy, but they're starving, so they accept the pizza and everything else that comes along with the unhealthy person out of what feels like survival. When we are able to meet our own needs, like the person with the magical kitchen, we're able to make healthy decisions about people. Now, here is the good news. You can build your own magical kitchen if you don't currently have one. One of the components of self love is to get to know yourself and your needs and start meeting them, i.e., properly take care of yourself. Everyone has their own unique set of personality needs. One of the biggest reasons that relationships fail is that one party or both parties are not meeting important relationship needs of the other. This will always starve a relationship eventually. You can think of the meeting of needs as the lifeblood of relationships. We have relationships to have that healthy interdependence. One thing to remember is that the relationship to yourself is actually a real relationship, just like any other relationship. You can think of meeting your own needs as nourishment in the relationship to self and nourishment and investment in your happiness and health. Let's talk for a second about core wounds and how this all ties in. All of the insecure attachment styles have what is known as core wounds. Real quick, what is a core wound? A core wound is a deeply rooted belief that is programmed through some form of trauma. This can be little t trauma or big T trauma, but it was a situation that elicited bad emotions in a situation that you had to try to make sense of at the time. And that's how it gets hardwired into your subconscious and unconscious mind. Emotion is what fires and wires neural pathways in the brain. This is why we consciously even know that a core wound isn't reality sometimes, but we still emote to it and live life through the lens as if it is absolutely reality. It will always hurt more when someone can't give us what we aren't giving to ourselves. When we have a core wound, we are often enacting that core wound onto ourselves. Why? Because it is part of what is called our subconscious comfort zone. Our subconscious is concerned with familiarity above all else. That's why people who find themselves in abusive relationships, oftentimes, if they look in their childhood, they were predisposed to abusive behavior from a caregiver or someone else who was close to them much of the time. Our subconscious is our autopilot mind. You can think of the subconscious as programs running in the background. That's why, for example, someone with the core wound, I will be rejected, just starts thinking thoughts on autopilot before a social gathering of all the ways the gathering is going to go wrong and how people are going to reject this or that about them. These programs are running in the background of our life until we reprogram by firing and wiring new neural pathways and letting the old ones atrophy, which basically means that the old beliefs will wither away and be replaced with the new ones, and there will be the absence of pain from the old beliefs. Examples: someone with the core wound, I am rejected, is rejecting themselves. You can't just assume everyone is going to reject you if you're not rejecting yourself first. Someone with the I am rejected or I will be rejected core wound is going to be sitting there visualizing people rejecting them before social gatherings, for instance, and this vision will fill in the blanks with a myriad of rejection worthy things about themselves and why they are so shameful, etc. They are not giving themselves acceptance. In fact, they are actively taking from their cup. Acceptance is one of an enormous plethora of personality needs that someone can have. You can imagine needs as cups to fill. If you're doing things to actively take from the needs being met, which you can visualize as the opposite of the need, then it's like you're poking holes in that cup. Poke enough holes, and the cup just becomes a bottomless pit where nothing really lands. It ends up not mattering if someone accepts you because there are so many visualized and perceptual rejections, times like 100 going on. So, if you're at such a deficit, of course it hurts more when perhaps someone does reject you at some point, or it hurts more if there's a perceived rejection. Another painful example, and this is huge for fearful avoidance, is the I cannot trust or I will be betrayed core wound, which is generally the fearful avoidance biggest core wound. In some way, shape, or form, they are already betraying themselves, which can take so many forms. It can take the form of constantly telling yourself that you're going to do something and then not following through. It can be you betraying your own wants, needs, and desires and just staying quiet about them to please somebody else. And then on a deep level, you can't really trust yourself to advocate for yourself. One of a fearful avoidance most pivotal action steps on healing the betrayal wound is to build self-trust. So, just one of the powerful steps in healing a core wound is to start giving yourself the opposite of that wound and meet your unmet needs from childhood. This is basically giving yourself what you did not get, aka reparenting. Reparenting is basically honing in on exactly what you did not get and superbly giving that to yourself forevermore. Maybe you needed to feel safe. How can you make yourself feel safe today? Maybe you needed support. How can you support yourself, your dreams, your boundaries today? Healing core wounds is one of the pivotal steps of healing in insecure attachment style. And this is something that I take a deep, deep dive into individually with my clients as one of the many things I assist clients with in my one-on-one sessions. If you're interested in assistance in figuring out exactly what core wounds you have and a detailed plan on how to heal them and the other pivotal steps in healing in insecure attachment style, I'd love to hear from you via my contact page on my website. Once you fill out a contact form, you'll receive my session information via email. In helping my clients, I use my professional and personal experience as I was once a strong, fearful avoidant attachment style and personally had to rewire strong core wounds that I quite frankly couldn't imagine not being plagued by, among many other facets of having an insecure attachment style. Well, I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. If this video was helpful to you, please give it a like. And if you want to stick around for more, be sure to press that subscribe button so you don't miss any future content. Thanks. Take care.